Thank you, Christian. Dear audience, welcome to our first mini webinar contest as an event of the virtual Toastmaster Conference. Thank you for being here to this special contest and making history. The VTM CON webinar contest is an unofficial Toastmasters contest format designed to test the skills required to host a webinar or deliver an online presentation. Taking advantage of the virtues of the online format and overcoming limitations. This contest today is a modified version of a format originally developed at Online Presenters Toastmasters. And today, I'm proud and happy to introduce our contest chair, who is also a proud member of Online Presenters Online Advanced Club. Our contest chair, born in Jamaica, is a very passionate and experienced Toastmaster for over 20 years. Let's give Donna Knight, DTM, a warm welcome. Donna, the virtual platform is yours.
Thank you so much. Good evening, contest organizer Fabiola Cleofa, Chief Judge Canon Sankaro, contest officials, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Welcome to the Virtual Toastmasters Conference Webinar Contest 2021, VTM CON. All the contestants have met the eligibility criteria, which is to be a member in good standing of a club in good standing. All contestants have been briefed about the rules and the timings of the contests. Timing will begin with the contestants' first definite verbal or non-verbal communication with the audience. The time allowed is 3 to 5 minutes. There will be a grace period of 30 seconds. Speakers speaking for less than 3 minutes or more than 5 minutes 30 seconds will be disqualified. The green color will be displayed at 3 minutes and will remain displayed for 60 seconds. The yellow color will be displayed at 4 minutes and will remain displayed for 60 seconds. The red color will be displayed at 5 minutes and will remain displayed until the speech has concluded. No signal will be given for the overtime period. In case of a contestant disconnection, the contestant will have a maximum of 3 minutes to rejoin the contest and will resume the speech from their last spoken sentence. In that situation, an additional 30 seconds will be allowed for the speaker. Contestants will be allowed a maximum of 2 disconnections, after which they will be disqualified. As part of their speech, contestants are allowed to engage with a chat monitor to share questions and/or comments from the chat. The chat monitor requirement and assignment per contestant was previously confirmed. The speaking order of the contestants was previously determined by a random draw, and the order is contestant 1, number 1, Raghav Shankar. Contestant number 2, Angela Heath. Contestant number 3, Jordi Vidal. Contestant number 4, Annie Bai. Contestant number 5, Kevin Broughton. Contestant number 6, Vikas Jain. Contestant number 7, Daria Michelle Cave. Contestant number 8, Ishrat Bundhun. Chief Judge, may we begin the contest?
All the judges and the role players are briefed. Let the contest begin.
Now let us welcome contestant number 1. Toastmaster Raghav Shankar. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you see the timers?
Yes.
Toastmaster Raghav Shankar. Power up your life with emotional intelligence. Power up your life with emotional intelligence. Toastmaster Raghav Shankar.
Worldwide research has pointed to one prominent attribute that is most important to grow and strive in life, and that is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is where our brain and our heart go hand in hand. A famous quote from Tara Mayer says that when you bring awareness to an emotion, you bring power to your life. My objective in the next 5 minutes is to give you a glance into emotional intelligence. We will look into self-management. I will share some practical tips on how to improve the skill, and I will close out with a small challenge to you. So to demonstrate why emotional intelligence matters to us, let me take you to some situation rooms. Please use the chat box to type which situation room you have been to. Room 1. You are the player who's about to take his shot in a penalty shootout. Room 2. You enter your house to see your kids angry and frustrated like this. Room 3. You're having a huge argument with your partner. Room 4. You're about to give a much expected presentation at work or in Toastmasters. Now, think, how did you react in this situation? How did you overcome your emotion to resolve the situation peacefully and successfully? The unanimous answer to that question is that you have used emotional intelligence. As all of you would have understood from your own experiences in such situation rooms, emotional intelligence is our ability to understand, manage your emotion and those of people around you. It is a vital part for having a successful relationship in both your personal and your professional life. It has four main components: self-awareness, self-management, empathy, and relationship management. Self-management is all about learning to control your emotions, making friends with your emotions and getting them to work for you, practicing optimism, and slowly exploring outside your boundaries. Some tips to enhance the skill is to take full accountability for your thoughts, emotions, and your actions. Taking full accountability attracts success. The next tip is to write down your core values. Writing them down brings clarity in your thought. And the next time you face an emotional turmoil, all you need to do is to go back to this list. Practice gratitude. This is all about positivity and optimism. And you'll be surprised on how many good things you're able to find in your life at all points. Start journaling. This is about self-reflection. Write about the emotions that you felt through the day and how the emotion impacted the result. Now, let's play a small game. Name as many emotions as you can in the chat box. Okay. As you can see here, most of us tend to bucket our emotions into groups. However, research has pointed that it is very important to identify and label the exact emotion that you're feeling. This is the first step in learning to manage it. Here you see a graph between pleasantness and energy. You can use this graph or the like to monitor how your emotions vary across different situations. And then you can find which emotion gave you the desired result. So the next time you feel emotional, dig deeper, identify the real emotion, name it, don't react impulsively. Practice breath work, power posing, and mindfulness. Modify your emotion to get your desired result. I would like to challenge you to take at least one of the below actions. 1. Phone a friend and check on them. 2. Write about 3 things that you're grateful for today. Write a personal thank you note to someone dear. Or simply practice being mindful in nature. Let's have the poll. Oh, thanks. Those are interesting results. So remember, the goal is not to be better than the other man or women, but to be better than your previous self. Back to you, contest chair.
Thank you, contestant number 1, Raghav. We now have a minute of silence. Thank you. Contestant number 2. Toastmaster Angela Heath, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Can you see the timer?
Yes, I can.
Toastmaster Angela Heath, publish your message in 4 simple steps. Publish your message in 4 simple steps. Toastmaster Angela Heath.
Welcome to today's webinar. I am so excited to be with you today. And I'm making you a very bold promise. If you do this challenge, it will change your life, guaranteed. I'm Angela Heath with TKC Incorporated, and I am your trainer for today. Toastmasters, who out there has a speech inside of them that can turn into a longer message? You've got a message inside of you that people are waiting to hear. If that's you, let me see a show of hands. Is that you? Do you have a message that people are waiting to hear? I can see that there are quite a few of us who have these messages, and that's great. Denise, Fabiola, we're Toastmasters. We always have great messages. So the title for today's presentation is Publish Your Message in 4 Simple Steps. That's right. It only takes 4 steps. Now, I want you to take a journey to the future. Say 6 months from today, you are on Amazon looking for a book and you come across something like this. That's right. Someone in this very conference has become the #1 bestseller on Amazon. I don't know about you, but that makes me get fired up and ready to go. If you're fired up and ready to go, put a Y in chat. Let me know that you're excited about one of us being a top seller. And it doesn't matter what club. It can be Global Trainers Online. It could be Toastmasters Without Borders. It can be Witty Birds. And I see in chat, all of these Ys are coming up. Toastmasters, we can do this in these simple steps. So let's get started. Step number 1, outline your book. You need about 10 to 15 chapters for a book. And in every chapter, you need about 10 to 12 topics. Now, I'm a mind reader, and I see some people thinking, and you're saying, hold up, Angela, you said it was simple. This doesn't sound simple to me. The old-fashioned way isn't simple, but we're talking about the Toastmaster way. This is what I just completed using the same steps that I'm teaching you, the Toastmasters way. We are going to speak our book everywhere in our local clubs and in the community. We speak our book and we record every word, because that next step is to transcribe our speeches. And you're going to have such rich content. Following the final step to make it an actual book. edit the content. So 4 steps that every person here today can practice, just 4 simple steps. Now, I made a bold promise today, and I said, if you accept the challenge, this will change your life. I know it will, because when I wrote my first few books, my life changed and has never gone back. So, Toastmasters, here's the challenge. Welcome to your future book challenge. With this challenge, all you need to do is select the title, design the cover, set the release date, and broadcast it to everyone. This is going to give you the fire that you need to keep going. And guess what? You can be the one with the Amazon best-selling book. Isn't that exciting? If you find that exciting, give me some love. Put those heart reactions up there. If you find this not just possible, but probable. And don't worry, yes, there are more steps involved. And that's why, to complete the challenge, we're inviting you to the Toastmasters Masterclass on Publish and Productize Your Book. It's going to be July 13th, 12:30 Eastern Time. I'll put the invitation in chat. But I want you guys to be published. I want you to have your message out there. The world is waiting. Toastmasters, accept the challenge. Back to you, Contest Master.
Thank you, contestant number 2. We now have 1 minute of silence for the judges. Let us welcome contestant number 3. Contestant number 3, Toastmaster Jordi Vidal. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Can you see the timer?
Yes.
Toastmaster Jordi Vidal. Have you ever tried to learn a new language? Have you ever tried to learn a new language? Toastmaster Jordi Vidal.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever tried to learn a new language? Please go to the chat and write down A. If you try to learn a language and succeeded, please write down B. If you try but fail, and write down C. If you are not interested in learning a language at all. Later in my presentation, I will go over the outcome of the survey. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, to learn a new language can be a life-changing experience. I wouldn't miss that opportunity for the world, because to learn a language opens massive doors, and you can meet new people, you can embrace new cultures. I wouldn't miss that opportunity for the world. That's why I would like you to share with you the story of one of my best friends. Please help me to give a big, big round of applause for my friend, Kate. Yay! Kate is my friend, and Kate started to learn a new language. Kate, can you share with us your experience, please? Kate, please, don't swear. We have an audience here. Please, don't swear. That's better. You tried to learn a new language and you failed. I remember you were fuming mad. And I said, Kate, don't worry. I will help you. I will share with you 3 tips that are going to help you to master that language for good. The first tip I share with you was about leading, because you were always following your language teacher's advice, which was good. But I said, Kate, you needed to try to do things on your own. You needed to be more independent. The second tip I share with you was about enjoying, because you were always learning through boring materials. And I said, Kate, you need to learn through topics you really like. That way, you will never run out of motivation. And my third tip was about focusing, because you were going from one material to another and another and another. I said, stop, Kate. You need to learn through topics you really like. You need to learn through materials that are useful to you. That way, you will make the most of your time and effort. Kate, I remember that you did follow my 3 tips. Can you tell our audience what happened then, please? What's that, Kate? Nobody can be that happy. That's physically impossible. I remember you did master the language, but why are you so extremely happy? You get a new boyfriend and a new job thanks to learning that new language? Mamma mia. Sorry, I'm not even Italian, but that's amazing, Kate. That's amazing. Thank you very much for sharing your story. And now, what about our audience? What about you, ladies and gentlemen? I've been sent the survey, and I can see that 50% of you were successful at learning a language. 40% fail, and 10% are not interested in learning a language. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's make a deal. Please, those who were successful at learning a language, please, can you raise your hand? Okay, thank you. What about trying to learn another language? You know how amazing that experience can be. Now let's go to those who fail at learning a language, please. Can you raise your hand? Okay, thank you. What about trying to tackle that language again? This time following my 3 tips. Remember, leading, enjoying, and focusing. This time, I promise you will be successful. And last but not least, please, those who are not interested in learning a language, please, can you raise your hand? Please, no, please raise your hand and leave the room. Of course not, don't leave the room, but think about that. To learn a new language can be a life-changing experience. I wouldn't miss that opportunity for the world. Back to you, Madam Contest Chair.
Thank you, contestant number 3. We will now have a minute of silence for the judges to mark the ballots. Now let us welcome contestant number 4. Contestant number 4, Toastmaster Annie Bai. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you see the timer?
Yes, I can see the timer.
Toastmaster Annie Bai. Keep moving, stay fit. Keep moving, stay fit, Toastmaster Annie Bai.
Have you ever heard of this term? Flatten the curve. No, I'm not talking about that curve. I'm talking about the curves on you. Be honest. Did you gain weight during the pandemic? If you did, raise your hand and tell me how many pounds in the chat. Just kidding. Well, staying at home, wearing pajamas all the time, easily accessing food, and even your latest passion in baking can be so helpful on gaining weight. If we continue accumulating it, one day we can't even get out of the door. That was exaggerated, but some of you may already feel the desperation when trying to buckle your pants or try to fit yourself in your favorite dress. Everyone put your hands on your waist. Do you feel your love handles there? Exactly. Fellow Toastmasters and friends, my name's Annie Bai, your fitness coach. You've heard this before, but it's totally worthwhile to remind you again. In this pandemic, it is extremely important for you to keep moving and stay fit. Why? Because the best guard of your health is not masks, hand sanitizers, or social distancing. It's your health and your immune system. Therefore, now is the time to keep your body in its best shape. Are you all with me? Excellent. Based on my years of experience in fitness, my advice to all of you is that get into a healthier lifestyle by establishing your mental, dietary, and physical strategies all together. In my full-length webinar, I will give you step-by-step information to achieve it and answer tricky questions like these. But in this mini version, let's give an example on how to bake more activity into your regular routines creatively, starting from being a Toastmaster. Toastmasters is great with one disadvantage, which is that you have to sit in front of your PC. For those who attend too many meetings, it's a lot of sitting. But I have a solution. In our meeting, there should be a new role, a fitness master, who will lead us to do some exercise. Don't worry, let me show you how. Everyone, please join me by turning on your audio and video. Don't be shy. Zone Master, please spotlight Nooch, my executive assistant. Together, let's have an imaginary hike. First of all, what a beautiful day. Follow me to smell the flower. Look, our friends are here. Let's high five our friends. High five, high five, high five, high five. Time to start walking. Let's walk. The faster you walk, the younger you look. Oh no, someone walked into a mud pond and fell. Help me to get him out. Out, out, out. Okay, he's out. But look at us. Follow me to have a good laugh. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you. At the end, we all need a good hug. Let's hug. Hug and hug. Well done, everybody. And thank you, Noosh. Did you enjoy it? Think about doing this for 3 to 5 minutes to bump up your energy. If you like it, introduce to your club. Together, let's keep moving and stay fit. Cut test share.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Bye. Let us have a minute of silence for the judges to mark the ballots. Now let us welcome contestant number 5. Contestant number 5, Toastmaster Kevin Bundhun. Can you hear me?
I can.
Can you see the timer?
I can, yes.
Toastmaster Kevin Bundhun. 26,718. 26,718, Toastmaster Kevin Bundhun.
26,718. Anyone care to hazard a guess as to the significance of this number? Type in the chat window if you do. And please, throughout this session, feel free to hit the reactions button at the base of your screen so I can see more clearly how I'm doing. Time is against us in more ways than one, but feel free to reach out after the session with questions. My details will be at the end with a memento, so get ready to screenshot. Debit card PIN, that's an interesting one. Speaking of time running out, the United Nations Population Division states the life expectancy of someone born today
is 26,718 days, or just over 73 years. Why and how we live impacts this, from elixirs to lifestyle. There are an increasing number of solutions, all for a price. However, I believe it comes down to the answer to one question. Do you have a reason to get out of bed in the morning? There is a gotcha alert, because the alarm going off or to pay bills is not a good reason. Challenge your purpose to be externally and internally balanced across the 5 dimensions of your health. Only then will you be able to extend your days. The social, our relationships with others, how well we are able to communicate and connect with those around us, whilst acting with integrity. Mental, our sense of value to those around us within our community, our ability to cope with the demands of the day-to-day. Our spiritual, our belief in a higher purpose, to connection to existence. For some, this is organized religion. For some, it's service to others. And for some, it's just pure hedonism. And our emotional, our ability to accept and move forward, our ability to absorb and not be overwhelmed by the positivity and or negativity that surrounds us. And physical, our body and its functions, how well we are able to process the right nutrients to deal with disease, promote longevity, and to age well, to become active aged. Not seeing too many reactions at the moment, but hopefully I still have your attention. And this is the crux. How do I deal with it? I have 2 triangles and 1 morality. The top triangle, what burns within our core and gives us balance, our emotions, how we feel, how we empathize, what makes us cry, and what Nick was doing, what makes our hearts sing, our values, how we think about ourselves, our family, society, and the universe, our competency, the talents we have, the things we are good at, and the things we're getting better at. And the bottom triangle is a representation of just some of the teachings of His Holiness Tenzin Gyatso, the 14th Dalai Lama, how to serve to the very best of our ability, compassion, the expression of benevolence with compassion over indifference and wisdom over ignorance, mindfulness, focus on what you choose and choose your distractions mindfully, with focus over distraction and awareness over automata. Selflessness, be an enabler, being selfless, not selfish, and expressing confidence over diffidence. And the final piece of the puzzle, integrity, what it means to keep and honor your word, inspired by the research of Werber Erhard and Michael C. Jensen. For someone to be of integrity, the word of that person must be whole, complete, unbroken, unimpaired, sound, and in perfect condition. Imagine what your life would be like if you have done what you said you would do when you said you would do it, or you have said you are not doing it. You have nothing hidden. You are truthful, forthright, straight, and honest, and you have cleaned up any mess you have caused for those depending on your word. What if those around you operated the same way too? So, do you have a reason to get out of bed in the morning? I do. I serve others with my gifts and talents. I use the triangles to remind me of balance and service, and my integrity does the rest. We've a finite life. How about we choose to live it now with purpose and integrity? And finally, my name is Kevin Broughton. Screenshot now for your memento and how to reach out to me if you wish to. I hope this helps. Madam Chair.
Thank you, Toastmaster. We will now have 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. We now welcome contestant number 6. Toastmaster Vickers Jane. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you see the timer?
Yes, I can.
Toastmaster Vikas Jan. Be world class. Be world class, Toastmaster Vikas Jan.
During a massive storm, when most other birds are looking for shelter, eagles use their large wings to fly above the storms. Today's disruptive marketplace is nothing less than a storm, and we can conquer this storm like eagle by being at the top. That is, be world class. Hi, world class communicators and leaders. In short, Toastmasters. In this journey, can you share if you truly believe that all Toastmasters are truly world-class leaders? Can I see a heart as an emoticon to see that you agree with me that you are truly a world-class speaker? And I'm seeing some heart. Thank you very much. I've done this research, deep research, that how one become world-class. And I know that you as an individual must be having this peculiar ability that all world-class leaders have, which is the curiosity. So whenever you have some question pop up in your mind, as I proceed through my presentation, do type in the chat box and I'll try to answer it towards the end. So during my research, which I've shared with many corporate, I realized what is required to become world-class. Now, before sharing my insights, let me get your insights that what do you understand by being world-class? So I'm going to show a quick round of poll to you. And you are shortly going to see that poll on your screen just now. That what do you mean by world class? Quickly, be quick, because time is really short, but you can do the best of your time by utilizing the time. And I'm seeing the scores coming up. Few more seconds before I close the button and end this poll. And I'm seeing what is always visible towards the end. And as I'm closing down the poll, I can see, and as you can see the results, people talk about very high quality and performance is the secret to become world class. My friends, let me tell you the core thing behind this. The core thing here is that you first acquire the world class quality and performance, which in turn help you get the world class results and popularity, which in turn gets you the tag of becoming the world-class professional. One more thing, what is actually required to become world-class? Actually, during this time, the world is going through a major transition and disruption. People are facing challenges, especially people who are not developing their skills to the required level are going to face even more challenges. During the same time, there are world-class leaders with extraordinary learning abilities, which are actually going to rule this world. And when they are going to rule this world, there is one thing which is very visible in their inside, which is the learning iceberg. So these people, when they think about learning, they think of it as something huge like an iceberg. When others talk about learning, they think of it as an ice cube. And you can see the difference that how these things are different. And even researcher might fail to identify this good thing. Edgar Dale Cone of Learning talks about that reading as a habit is having least learning retention. In reality, all world-class leaders are having very high level of reading. But why they are not able to identify it? Because it's a skill to turn the text into outcome. You need a master chef to turn an amazing written recipe into a delicious dish. You need to have that kind of mindset. Now, Chavi, do you see any question in the chat box? Anybody who has asked something, or you have something from your previous background?
Yeah, I'll take mine. Is talent inborn or developed?
Great. Many people think that it's inborn, but many researchers are confirming that it can be built with first deliberate practice, and second and foremost is long preparation hours. You must have heard about Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000 hours rule, which is an insight into this. So to become the best in your industry, to be the best-selling author, to be the unicorn entrepreneurs, unleash your potential of learning of these world-class abilities. Starting today, make this habit. Starting today, make this habit of learning something new, of crafting your skill and taking it to the world-class level. Because if you take it to the world-class level, you will explore the final secret. Do you want to know the final secret? Come closer to me. Yes. The final secret is that being world-class is a journey, not a destination, to take yourself and become the eagle in your industry. Back to Toastmaster contest chair.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jen. We now have a minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Let us now welcome contestant number 7. Contestant number 7, Toastmaster Dario Michelle Cave. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you see the timer?
Yes.
Toastmaster Dario Michelle Cave. Come. Toastmaster Dario Michelle Cave.
Have you ever been scuba diving off the coast of a coral island with the dolphins and the turtles nipping at your toes?
Oh yes, I have.
Contest chair, Toastmasters, and guests, I moved to this island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean for just that reason. Born free, dolphins and all. It is not true to say that I live to dive. So I will say this. I work to dive. When Friday afternoon hits, my well-shod feet trade in pumps for sea slides. My tailored suits give way to swimsuits and wetsuits. To the coast I'm bound, rain, cloud, or sun, like clockwork. It is there one can find me. Folks from Vienna to Zanzibar know from 3 on Friday afternoon to 7:30 on Monday morning. You'd better attach your note to a whale because they and the dolphins are the sole mammals I'll be talking with. Circa 2021. Barbados is about 650 feet above sea level. Sinking.
Oh my God.
Christina, though, the Earth changes over millennia. I'm inclined to say we humans are doing more than our fair share.
Yes, you're quite right.
Scientists tell us that rising ocean temperatures increase marine heat waves that devastate coral reefs. This lovely coral island sinking into the Atlantic Ocean. What can we do to arrest this? Anyone have a clue?
Yes, of course. We can replant the coral reef.
It's coral, the gold of which we are made. Coral hasn't been having a great time with tourists, though.
Don't touch, please.
Coral doesn't like construction juices. Where do you think all that cement water is going?
Down the drain.
And out into our coral reefs.
Stop.
Coral doesn't like overfishing and artificial fishing centers either.
All that fake poop? Stop.
We are resilient and adaptable folk, though. Remaking the dying coral reefs, creating in months what nature takes millennia to ferment. Manufacturing these lovely creatures, yes, coral reefs are animals, not plants.
And habitats and ecosystems.
for thousands of species of fish, plant, and animal life. In PVC piping, we are growing them with cuttings we get from living coral. So all that gray coral is once again the brilliant coral you see behind me. What would you say to a week in crystal blue waters helping with this project? Come! Would you want to help to plant these animals on the seafloor? Come! Did you know that artificially grown coral are not affected by the global cooling or warming of the ocean?
It's pretty cool.
Want to help? Come. We'll have a ball. Or should I say, a coral. Barbados is creating history by planting fragments of staghorn coral from the Folkestone Marine Reserve for the first time to mark this year's World Oceans Day. Want to help? Come. We see Barbados's Coral Reef Nursery coming full circle. Started 20 years ago when corals that would have been killed during the expansion of the main seaport had to be removed.
Oh.
Everyone was planting corals. Everyone, Christina. Fishermen, tourists, children, and Barbadians from every walk of life are working with coral and learning how to handle it to help preserve the environment. Want to help? Come.
Yes.
Tracking them over the next 2 years, we'll continue to grow our coral nurseries, providing 150 corals on the island's west coast and south coast each year. Divers, come. You'll soon see a restored Barbados. 967-1111, Air Barbados. How may I help you? Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, contestant number 7. We now have a minute of silence for judges to mark the ballots. We now welcome contestant number 8. Contestant number 8, Toastmaster Ishrat Bundhun. Can you hear me?
I can.
Can you see the timer?
I can.
Toastmaster Ishrat Bundhun. Let's twist again. Let's twist again. Toastmaster Ishrat Bundhun.
I'm gonna sing my song. It won't take long. We're gonna do the twist and it goes like this. Come on, let's twist again. Like we did last summer. Yeah, let's twist again. You heard me right. Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters, we're twisting indeed. But rather than twisting our hips today, we're twisting our tongues. Does anyone in the room know of any tongue twisters? If you do, please type a yes in the chat. Awesome, thank you. You'll probably recall the classic tongue twisters from your childhood days, but here's one from mine. She sells seashells on the seashores of Seychelles. Let me ask you another question. If you find it difficult to say tongue twisters or shy away from them, please type another yes in the chat. Great, quite a few of you here. Now, have you ever wondered why tongue twisters were invented in the first place? Please bear with me as I set the poll up. There you go.
We'll run it for a few seconds. Excellent, thank you. You are correct. These deliberately difficult expressions weren't used to screw up speaking abilities or solely as an amusing wordplay, but rather for speech training and to improve articulation back when elocution was taught in schools. I hear you ask, though, what's in it for me? Well, as Toastmasters, you're required to speak often, right? Imagine this. You've drafted the best speech ever, but drastically failed to get the message across, simply because your audience didn't understand a word you said. Frustrating, right? Well, here's where tongue twisters can come to the rescue. Did you know performers and public speakers say tongue twisters before going on stage? Well, simply because they're such a brilliant warm-up. They stretch and strengthen the muscles that you use to speak. But most importantly, they're a great way to enhance pronunciation and fluency. I was only 7 when I learned my first tongue twister, and boy, I had fun. I'd spent hours practicing so I could beat myself to saying it as fast as I could. Betty bought some bitter butter, but the bitter butter Betty bought was too bitter. So she bought some better butter to make the bitter butter better. Ta-da! If you struggle with these catchy phrases, allow me to share 4 simple tips that can help you master them. Tip number 1 is to understand the story behind a tongue twister, if ever there's one, obviously, and internalize it. Start slow. Betty bought some bitter butter, but the bitter butter Betty bought was too bitter. So she bought some better butter to make the bitter butter better. Once you get the gist of it, you can then pick up the pace. Secondly, say each word out loud and clear. Do not be afraid to open your mouth big and wide. Tip number 3, articulate. Did you know vowels carry the emotion and the music, while consonants carry the intent and the meaning? So let's hear them out in a pristine way. And lastly, there's a rhythm, a beat to saying a tongue twister. Betty bought some bitter butter, but the bitter butter Betty bought was too bitter. So she bought some better butter to make the bitter butter better. We can even turn it into a rap. Now, if you'd like to mix some learning with a little extra fun with tongue twisters, join us in the breakout room of Plateau Toastmasters Club on 27th June for an educational session on figures of speech at the VTM CON. See you there. Contest chair.
Thank you. Thank you to all our contestants who have shared with us various aspects of their lives, how we can benefit. And it is my pleasure to thank them, all the contestants. Contestant number 1, Toastmaster Raghav Shankar. Contestant number 2, Angela Heath. Contestant number 3, Jordi Vidal. Contestant number 4, Annie Bai. Contestant number 5, Kevin Borton. Contestant number 6, Vikas Jain. Contestant number 7, Daria Michelle Cave. And contestant number 8, Ishrat Bundhun. We would like to, the Zoom too, we'd like to present with you this certificate. Each participant will receive a certificate of participation in the mail. Again, congratulations to all of you and thank you. It has been my pleasure to serve you this evening, and I now give control to our contest organizer, Distinguished Toastmaster Cleofa Fabiola.
Thank you, our contest chair. Wasn't she fabulous? Let's give her a big round of applause. And you, audience, you have been fabulous. But wasn't this a great contest? Did you experienced something different? Each one of the contestants did a marvelous job, and we learned all kinds of things. I know you got a lot out of this and want to learn more, so keep in touch with them. Some of them did give their contact information, so go ahead. And our winners are: publish your message. Third place winner, Angela Heath. Let's twist again. Second place winner, Ishrat, Bundhun. Keep moving. Stay fit. First place winner, Annie Bai. Congratulations to all our contestants. And a word of thanks to all our functionaries for making this contest a fabulous one. Over to you, event chair.